All right, welcome Darlington to the podcast, dude. We are so happy to have you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
All right, you know how this podcast works, dude. We got the quick hitters; those will get you warmed up. Then we'll get into the interview, and then you got Ike at the end. If you answer all five, you can ask one of us any question your heart desires. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First off, I want to ask you before we get to the quick hitters: are you quarantined over there?
Yeah. I've been in the house with the family, not doing much, just with the kids and wife. Some good quality time with the fam. So can't complain about that. But hopefully,
Practicing, practicing social. What is it? Social distancing? Is that what it's called?
yeah,
Yep.
social distancing.
Social distancing.
Dude, this is wild though.
Yeah, I've already been kind of good at it, but taking it to a whole different level now.
Live your lifetime that way.
I'm right there with you, dude. As Ike once eloquently put it, I bought a house. I'm gonna sit in it. So
Yeah. He said, "What's the point of leaving this house if I'm never in it?" So this is the time to utilize it.
all right. Well, it's crazy times. We're gonna bring some hope to people out there. Maybe a little bit of despair as well with some of our answers, but let's get going. All right. My first question for you is your favorite teammate and why? And I'll give you four options, but if you have someone else, you can tell me. So
it would be me, so we can just.
We're not adding Sal. We might add Sal to another question later. But favorite teammate and why? Diego Valeri, Diego Chara, Brad Guzan, or our last podcast guest, Greg Garza.
Ooh, I'll probably go Chara. Yeah,
Chara.
He's a lifesaver. So whenever you're playing with him, and when he's on the field, he makes you feel comfortable. No matter what happens, he's there to clean it all up.
Dude, ain't that the truth? But I mean, you don't need anybody to clean your stuff up. You never lose the ball.
Nah, but he gives you that extra sense of safety. Let's learn a lot from him. Kind of, Sal knows that dude. He just like nonstop, just works and works and works. Doesn't complain. He just does his business and goes home.
Dude, he's one of the toughest dudes to play against.
For sure. And he's not even like the biggest, but he's just rock solid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I could tell you, he is the most balanced. He's never in a rush to tackle anybody to get to the ball. He's always composed. It's the weirdest thing. Like he looks like he's always running with you, but never in a rush. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. You never see him like full pace. If he has to match you, he matches it. But if he doesn't have to, then he doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
He
tackles with ease, right? It's kind of like he lunges a lot and just.
He's one of those guys that's like as slow as, I don't know, like Steven Gerrard, and then he can be as fast as Fabian Castillo. It's like, how are you able to do that?
The only time you see him fast is when he's trying to catch like the attack on a counter. This guy just looks like a bullet going up the field, and then you wonder how he even has this kind of endurance to just keep running.
It's because that shirt's always tucked in.
Him and Piet, the two shirt tuckers.
Someone tell this man to untuck his shirt, please. Untuck It should sponsor him.
Wait, before we get into the next question.
Untuck It. I like that one.
I want to get. When I stole the ball from Darlington once, and I remember in the game, I was thinking to myself, I finally got this shit from him. Finally.
Isn't that funny, though? Like, when somebody steals the ball, they remember the moment that they stole it from him because it's so few and far between. Like, I remember doing it once with Red Bull and being like, okay, I can remember that now. I'll always remember that moment. I got it from him.
Bro,
the two times Darlington lost the ball.
Well, it was funny because later in the game, I'm like, I'm about to get him again. And he hit me with the hezzy, and I said, oh, shit. But he's got like Benny. Benny was really good. I have to say was now. I got to get my chance. In deep line positions, you were hard to get the ball from in deep line positions.
And whenever you
like a six? Like a defensive midfielder?
Yeah.
Benny, whenever it looked like you're going to lose the ball, you would just throw your body in front of the guy and get fouled every time.
Yeah, but how would you know that? You would never have played against me in that spot, like even in practice. Or are you just basing it on looking it?
Yeah, well, yeah, just in general, when you've been a deep, even in the game when you check back for a ball, you'd be pretty deep at times, and you would never lose it.
I'll tell you what the important aspect of that is: knowing your limits.
What?
If you know what your limits are, if you know what your limits are, then you can maintain your talent level in those limits. If you think, oh, I'm gonna just blow past this guy, I'm losing the ball.
Well, you're selling yourself short. Darlington could do that if he wanted to.
No, yeah, exactly. But I'm saying my limits. I know what my limits were. So
I think Benny sees you, but he doesn't let you know that he sees you. So you think you're in there, but then he just, he does his thing.
Yeah, until he plays the Galaxy, when Zlatan's first game. And then,
oh boy,
wait, Zlatan's got to be Voldemort. We can't even say his name anymore because then we're like,
yeah, dude.
Getting trouble.
I was with Darlington. Darlington was in the shower when Zlatan
shower.
I was like, he scored! I was like banging on the bathroom door. Darlington came out with a towel. What happened?
I forgot about that. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I jumped off the couch too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm mad I did, but I did it.
Yeah.
I wish I was on the couch.
I forgot about that. That was funny.
Dude, I remember, so you guys are talking about taking the ball from D. I don't remember ever taking the ball from him, but I do remember him doing some bad stuff to me one time when I think you guys scored as well. I can't remember if you guys scored or not, but I'm pretty sure you scored, or I don't know, maybe Tim made like a ridiculous save or something, but it was in Portland and you got the ball in the box and I just sold my body just thinking you're going to shoot. I should have known better that you're probably not going to shoot, that you're going to just chop it and then find the pass, but I forget who you passed it to, and I'm pretty sure you guys scored. But do you remember that?
Yeah, who was that? I forget which game it was, but I know you're talking about. It was kind of in the box.
I think it was the game. It might have been the game where Chara got the red card, and then Sony Mustavar got a red card as well,
like
and then we lost 3-0.
Right, I remember that.
I think that was
another red card too. Was it like 10-9 by the end of it?
No, I think it was 10-10. Was it 10-9?
Crazy game. I think it might have gotten a red too.
Something else happened, I think. Anyways, get to your next question, Benny. Sorry.
All right, next question. Sorry, let me. My phone closed and everything, so we're talking too long about. We started with Chara. That's what happens, dude.
The legend.
One of my favorite defensive midfielders in the league for sure. All right, best city you've lived in, and you can incorporate whatever you want, whether it's team, environment, fans, anything you want. Atlanta, Portland, Columbus.
Don't say Columbus, D. Don't say Columbus. Don't.
No, just city without being, biased. I would say Atlanta. It's probably the best city.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not fans or anything. So I could just live in there. I would say Atlanta was overall the best city. Yeah,
nice.
My wife and I, we enjoyed it. The weather was pretty nice. Sal was there. That was a big reason why.
But damn, you were ready. You were pretty ready to come back home, though, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
I heard you were ready to come back home before you even came back home.
Oh man, you know me, man. I was just showing up practice, working.
Just so you don't get fined, bro. That's why you were there.
Yeah.
You had to be.
I was just there working with Sal, man.
Yeah,
we were there grinding, and then but Atlanta was
championships.
Great. Yeah,
right,
Atlanta was great.
Cool. All right, last questions of the little quick hitters. Your best coach, and you can answer it in whatever way you want as well. You had Tata, you had Frank DeBoer, you have Daddy Caleb, and you had Jurgen Klinsmann. So which one is your favorite best coach, however you want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll say my favorite is Caleb. Just because I would say he knows me the best and I know him. Working together for so long, but all the other guys are great too. I had a good relationship with all the other guys. But I can't. Tata was great. I would say that was different. You know how that was, Sal.
Yeah.
But we won with him, and I would say that was probably like the best team that I was on. It was weird. It was crazy. But every game was like, hey, like we're gonna win, but like let's just go out there. It was weird.
A funny story that season we won. We played the first game at Houston that season.
Got slapped.
And we got crushed 4-0. And me and D are just in the hotel room like, what are we doing? We're lost. What was this guy thinking? Just like, we're gonna be in trouble this season if he has our center backs overlapping the outside backs, like crazy stuff. We were saying like wild stuff, and then obviously we like, yeah, this guy knows about soccer than I ever will. So fair enough to Tata.
Went to the vortex of Houston.
That was crazy.
Was wild, though. It was just
season was wild too. Yeah.
I kept looking at Sal like, man, have you ever done anything like this?
Nah.
I'm like, me neither. But let's do it.
Well, I'm actually in a coaching course right now. I'm taking my B license, and that's like one of the biggest things. Regardless of how crazy your ideas are as a coach, you want to somehow get everybody on the same page. So
yeah, that was one.
Maybe he
thing
was
I'll
a
say
little
about
crazy,
Tata.
but
Yeah,
if everybody's
I
bought
think
in, that's a huge plus.
out of everyone, I would say like he got everyone on the same page, no matter what it was or whether we believe in it or didn't believe in it, or the players had their own ideas. Like everyone did what he said, and I think that's the hard thing to do as a coach. So I respect him for that.
All right, well, you've passed the quick hitters. You're out of the warm ups, and I'm going to ask you. My first question is about the national team.
Yeah, my wife's calling me.
All right. You say as much as or as little as you want, but my question is basically this: we all know all the players, right? We know that you're good enough to play on the national team, and we know that I know firsthand how it can be, whether the coach either believes in you or doesn't believe in you, or gives you an opportunity or doesn't. But we've never heard your side of the story as to kind of like, how much you wanted to be involved or how much it would take away from obviously your family time. I know you're a big family man. And so just talk about what you want and what you want to share as to, how that decision was in your life and kind of deciding to either participate or not participate in certain camps or whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, Sal was kind of there during the whole time, right?
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Yeah. So it was kind of like that. I had gotten to Atlanta and we didn't qualify. It was before I got to Atlanta, we didn't qualify. And then the next year, I was kind of like, I don't know what to do, what's going to happen. I mean, I was just realistic about it. Obviously, it's a tough choice, but at the same time, it isn't, because if I don't go, it's just more time with the fam. But if I do go, you get a chance, to be a part of the World Cup. You were entering that, right?
Yeah, I was. I played. I came in for like 5 minutes, and everybody blames me.
Crazy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
But obviously,
game was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, I told Sal all the time. For me, that's just an added bonus. I get to do this for a living. I like what I do for a living. I get to be home a lot. So I think national team kind of took away just for me being home. A lot of those breaks that we would get. You would see guys, get some time off and things like that. And then we would travel to, St. Vincent and go play on cricket fields and stuff like that. So it was just like,
yeah, dude.
So for me, it's like it's a grind. You know what I mean? It's just,
that's different.
I feel like where you travel to go play, like, makes a big difference, drinking out of water bottles, brushing your teeth with that. And it's just like, people don't really see that. I know
exactly what you're saying.
I know what you're saying.
Especially qualifying for the World Cup. So you play in a lot of crazy environments. You play in Central America. You play in the Caribbean. You play in small stadiums and all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, that we know the field, and as much as people hate us making excuses, but that field was crazy, right? Like, you couldn't really play soccer, and so it was it's environments like that, and like you said, it takes away from your family life, and it's not an easy decision whether you want to be away from your family and potentially partake and take away your time and potentially partake in like a World Cup at one point. But I don't think I think people don't think about it in that way. They just think, oh, why wouldn't you want to play for the national team? Why don't you want to play for the World Cup and all that stuff without realizing how much time it takes away from your family. So I mean, I understand it.
I'm going to interject. Exactly. They've never been to a January camp. So
you mean the fans that think like that?
Yeah. So I swear, I'm retiring from the national team. I'm going to announce it right now. Benny did his retirement. I'm announcing my international retirement.
Don't do it. Come on.
At this point, I'm never getting a call. And I don't care. I've had one cap. I've been there, done that. I can have.
I got a cap too, bro. One cap.
Exactly. 4 more good years. I probably still won't get a call. But I swear, as I said to myself, if Greg sends me a prelim or email for the pool January camp, I will respond, taking me off of this. I was hoping he sent it to me just so I could say, taking me off of this. But figure.
That's so tragic, dude. I mean,
but
come on. I don't want to, your bubble's already this big, but as it should be, like, damn, how do you not play on the national team? And
both of them. How do both of
I
them?
know,
How are both
but
of
fine,
them not
but
One's
staples?
by
Darlington,
choice. The other one is not by invite.
Darlington had some. Darlington at least had some experiences. You know,
Yeah.
he was
I
there.
had
He
one,
played.
two.
But come on, January camp for give me a break.
Listen,
Like
at this
it
point,
makes me
I'm
sad.
going to carry on living my life.
You should have been a consistent player on the national team for a while now. It makes me sad. As long as you wanted to be, you know. So
yeah, let me check my junk email. It could be in the junk or the spam folder. Maybe I missed it.
But no, I mean we'll see.
Will we ever see Darlington? Will we ever see Darlington wearing a national team jersey ever again?
I don't know. Only time I think about it is when people ask me about it. I just kind of.
There you go. I'm asking you.
Yeah. I mean, I never really think about it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, you know those games, man. Those games. Yeah. I mean, it's fun when you put on the jersey, you know, and the whole country's cheering for you. So it's definitely different. It's definitely special, you know. But at the same time, you know, I try to look at it. If I went to the World Cup, like, you know, would I be like, how would it affect me? Would I come back and be like, I went to the World Cup? Like, is it worth missing time with my fam? If not, then why would I do it?
Yeah. Let's ask you a hypothetical right here. It's gonna be the toughest question you get besides Ike's 5. So hypothetical right now. Gold Cup next year, you get called in. You have to be gone from your family for 6 weeks to be part of the national team for the Gold Cup. Do you say yes, or you say nah? I'd rather be with my family.
Nah, I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's people don't understand it, but I understand it.
It's similar. It's a little bit similar to like Carlos Vela, right? I mean, he you know, he got a lot of flack for not taking national team, you know, call-ups and whatnot. But
so, D, I don't know how well you know Carlos, but we had him on the show, and I played with him in LA. But he is very good soccer player. We all know that. But he doesn't have like the passion for soccer as some other guys do. He loves basketball. He loves living his life. He loves having fun. And so, as much as he had some chances with the national team and played, he isn't like that guy that's gung ho on getting back into the national team and all that stuff. So. It's just, I mean, everybody's different, man. It's in
family first. I mean, that's, you know, family is what's most important to him. You know what I mean? So you want to spend, you play club, you make a living off that, and you know that's important to you. You put your focus on that and providing for them and spending time with them. You know. So.
Sal knows it. He's got 4 girls at home. You got 2, D?
D's got 3.
3. Yeah.
You're like me then. What do you got? What is it?
Girl, boy.
Girl, boy. I got girl, boy. So we're similar.
Well, all 3 of us got all we're hitting everything.
Ike needs to jump in the pool, dude.
I've been there.
Nah. Actually, it's funny. I can swim, but there was a time I can't. The stereotype. All right. I had to do a preseason workout. Yeah. Somebody's probably thinking that, but. But I had to do a preseason workout. I was dead by the end of it. I started to drown because I don't have stamina when I'm in the pool though. And our teammates saw us walking by and started crushing me. And I'm like, damn it, man. Sorry, I don't even know how we got to this point, but carry on with you.
Anyways, kids are tough, dude. That's a tough job. So appreciate it, but it's not easy. All right. All right, let's move on. Ike, do you want anything, or am I jumping into something else?
You could. Well, okay. So I have a question. When you got drafted, you obviously was taken second overall behind Omar Salgado at the Whitecaps. Did you say? I don't know. I have no idea, but I think I've heard it through
just by a smile. I can tell it's true.
I heard grapevine through so, and I don't know if it's true, but you're starting to reveal that I think it's true. Did you tell Vancouver that you did not want to play for them?
See, people just word things so badly, you know. I knew Sal was gonna end up in Portland. That was the thing.
And that's why he wanted to be up there.
Hey, Portland isn't that far from Vancouver. I guess it's on the other side of the border, though.
Though, Vancouver, Canada, like it would have been
Canada, U.S. Yeah.
No, the biggest thing with that was, I mean, they asked me. I spoke with them before obviously the draft, and I told them, you know, I'd prefer to stay in the States, obviously, to get my citizenship and all that stuff. So it wasn't just like if I had my citizenship, I wouldn't have cared where I went, you know. But I was like, you know, I prefer to stay in the States just to get my citizenship. And at the time, you know, my mom as well, traveling to Canada and all that wasn't like the best thing, the most ideal thing. So I just told them that, you know. And then they made, and I was like, but if you pick me, of course I'll play.
Right. So you changed
pulled a Joe Burrow.
You would have changed the whole outlook of that franchise right there. They lost a franchise player.
Yeah.
They drafted
They drafted 16-year-old Omar Salgado, and they could have had Darlington Nagbe
instead of the product. Oh gosh, Benny. Anyhow,
I legit don't. I remember that name, but he doesn't still play, does he?
Bounced around for a while. I think he's in the USL now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was good back then.
He was good.
Vancouver would have had at least one ship by now, I think, right?
And like 5 Canadian championships.
They would have had like 4 Cascadia Cups, that's for sure.
That was our first trophy, man. Cascadia Cup.
Yeah. That was. We were pretty hyped for Cascadia Cup.
Who was the coach?
Bad years in Portland.
Who was the coach in Vancouver at the time?
Renee. Oh, the year Darlington was there. I'm not, or was going to get drafted. I'm not sure.
Is it Sowen? Is that the name that?
Yeah, but was he the head coach? I thought he was the interim after. Oh, I don't even remember.
The coach.
I know he was there.
Spencer.
It was John Spencer. Yeah.
John Spencer.
Nice. And then they hired his. Darlington got to handpick his next appointer.
Darlington picked his next coach.
He said,
guys, there's a reason why LeBron James is his favorite athlete, okay? It's not just what he does on the field, it's what he does behind the scenes, you know?
Pulling the strings.
I just clock in and clock out. You know? You guys.
Darlington Nagbe, player/sporting director.
You trade yourself for a lot of money to Atlanta then, huh?
Got that TAM, GAM, all of that stuff. All right, I want something else here. I played with this dude that you might know called Nigel de Jong. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, it's the homie.
So this guy, we had Stuart Holden on the show, and this dude, broke Stuart's leg 3 months before the World Cup. And he had never, said anything to him or reached out to him or anything. Stu was lucky enough actually to get back to play in the World Cup. But anyway, so when Nigel came to MLS, he actually reached out to Stewie at some point and apologized. This was a story that Stewie told us. And he told him, sorry about that. I was in a bad moment in my life and apologized, and came clean. And Stewie said, appreciate it, whatever. And about, what was it, a week or 10 days later?
I thought it was like 2 hours later.
I think he
was it 2 hours later?
Before that game.
Yeah, I think he was announcing the game.
So this was before the pregame conversation, I guess. Yeah. And they were playing at home against the Portland Timbers at StubHub Center or Dignity Health Park or whatever the hell it's called now. Anyways, in that game, he had what did he get red carded for that challenge?
No, yellow, right?
Just
or not even a card, maybe.
Not even a yellow.
Anyway, so I'm wondering first, did he ever reach out to you after that? After he almost broke your leg, and I guess that'll give us some indication if he was being honest about Stewie. Because damn, after that whole story, we thought he had come clean, and then he did that in the game. So how did that all?
40 minutes later.
Yeah. So he at the time our goalie was Adam Coarse. So I think Adam knew him or they had mutual friends or something like that. So he reached out to Adam. He wanted to fly out to Portland and come apologize and stuff like that. But at the time it was like a week later and I was doing better. I was like, nah, there's no need for that, But he did want to come out and apologize. So I thought that was nice of him. But luckily it wasn't anything, bad enough, no surgery, nothing like that. I think I was out like 2 weeks maybe.
Damn. That's surprising. I mean, not surprising, but like, I guess that's good. But it was. I guess it was really beneficial that you didn't actually, get any severe injury because it looked bad.
Yeah, like it was. I mean, I thought it was broken because
it looked like it.
Friend, Steve Zakwani.
Yeah.
So I remember his. When he got injured, and I just kept looking down at my leg. That's what it like. That's what it felt like. That's why I kept looking down, checking on it to see like what had happened. But it was just terrible. It was painful. Luckily, like we said, no severe.
So did it end up just being like a contusion or a sprained ankle, or what was it?
Nah, it was sprained, high ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain.
That carries on for a minute though.
Yeah. That lingers.
I always tell victims of Nigel de Jong on our show that I got the pleasure of playing with him in Hamburg for about a year and a half. And in practice, he would do the exact same one-legged, full extension stud to the legs, and it was crazy, dude. Like, this guy's a great player, but he really didn't think about the players around him too much. If he injured him, that was just part of the deal.
Yeah, it was weird, like you said, because he was a baller. So, you know, for him to go into tackles like that, it was just
and a black belt.
Bro, this man.
Oh, he's a black belt.
Well, he almost killed. Who did he kill in Spain in the World Cup final?
Alonso?
Was it Xavi?
Yeah, to the chest.
Into the chest, dude. Like, who does this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Doesn't matter if you're training in Hamburg or playing in the World Cup final. This guy's gonna do it to you.
And still get away with it. It's great. So D, was your first ever game at like the 8/6 against Kansas City in the summertime, 2016 or 17? I forget which year. Cause
no, I played there a couple times with under John Spencer.
Okay, because I remember you after the game. I saw you out in like whatever in Kansas City in the town, and we were talking about it, and you were talking about, I gotta be an 8. I was like 53 or 53 passing or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, you're kind of nice, but aren't you a 10? I'm like, because I've always I think a lot of people have always thought you were the 10, the creator. That was your skill set, but now it's like, well, everyone was all wrong, and you knew deep down. So, like, how was that? Like, just as your career, thinking that I'm playing in the wrong position and still kind of balling? I mean, you did a lot of good things when you were in advanced positions, but as you're now, more of where you thought you always were supposed to be. How's that been?
It's just been more fun, I would say. I mean, in college under Caleb, I kind of play, a little bit of everywhere on the wing, middle, 6, 10. So I think he knew I could play, multiple positions. And then when I got drafted, you know how it is, athletic, speed. So I went on the wing. I think that was good too, just to get playing time. So I never complained about it. I never complained about any position I played, But once I got put in the 6 and the 8 position, I really made sure I wanted to stay there and not play any other position. I mean, it's just more comfortable. It's just, I think, naturally me. It's kind of unselfish position. I like getting touches, I could score 2 goals, but if I don't get my touches, then it's a shit game, Oh, I don't can swear on here. So it's
you're good. You're good. After Alan Gordon, anybody can say whatever they want.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how I look at the game. I mean, playing with Sal knows how I am. It's just I want to get touches. I want to dictate rhythm. I'm not the greatest defender, but I help my teammates out on that side of the ball as well too. So I just kind of like doing a little bit of everything in the game. And I think in the middle of the field, you get to do that.
You're the best defender without having to tackle, because you'll just like steal the ball off their dribble or their touch or something. Like you'll just like it.
Yeah,
like in
true.
But if someone takes a long touch, they just like steal it. It's like nice and soft. Like that's him.
You're already going into the attack on your touch that you steal it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Hey, I haven't watched any of the Columbus games this year. What position have you been playing? Been playing like the 8?
A little bit of both. So I've been playing with Artur. Good player, man. I like playing with him.
Yeah.
So he's comfortable.
That's why he's on the
8
field.
Or 6.
Like playing with him.
Darlington, make sure Artur's on the field. Who else is that?
Hey, Dad. Yeah, he's good with me. Put him in. Who's playing as the 10?
We signed Lucas from Tigres. Yeah, he's a baller.
So you got Pedro Santos on one side. Who's on the other side?
We got Luis Diaz, the Costa Rican kid.
Okay.
Lightning.
And is Adi playing up top or someone else playing up top?
Jossie's up top.
Oh, Jossie.
Subbing in. Yeah. So it's been good. It's been good so far.
So when you get traded,
I was just gonna say my 2 cents on just the way I see you play. You're people always watch you and think, okay, he never loses the ball. You can't take the ball away from him. He's technically very good. Why doesn't he score 10 goals and get 15 assists every year? And in my perspective, I think the way you get the most out of a player is by allowing him to be what he wants to be, right? And being able to find that position for him. And I've always thought that you're a guy that, exactly like you described, you're a guy that wants the ball at his feet, likes to have the tempo. You're almost the guy that gives the pass to the pass, which is a little bit how I've always viewed myself. I think maybe I sometimes give the actual final pass, but the pass to the pass is always like, something that goes a little bit untalked about. And so that's kind of how I've always watched you play. And I think you've always been at your best when coaches don't ask you to go be the 10, go create everything, because that's that's not, I don't think, in your DNA. It might happen, naturally, but not if you're like forcing. So
yeah,
I think the 8's the right spot for you. 6, 8, whatever, playing with somebody next to you like that.
Yeah, because it's different when you go out there and you're thinking about like, oh, I have to create. You know what I mean? Like I don't think like that when I just don't think like that. So when I go in a game, it's like, okay, like what can I do to get guys going? To get the team going. So when I go out there and it's like, oh, you got to take shots just to, like, if I take a shot, sometimes I'm like, oh, I just shot it because I'm supposed to shoot, versus like, hey, I think I'm supposed to shoot right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just not in me to try and force things or anything like that. That's why I like, and I don't mind if players do it. If my 10 or winger are doing it, that's fine with me. That's their game. That's how they play, But I've never had that mentality where I'm gonna go out there and just kill this outside back today or something like that.
Some players come into a game and say to themselves, all right, if I don't get a goal or an assist, then I had a crappy game or whatever, But you're kind of the player that, you alone can clean up a game and can put a team into their rhythm that they want to play, just by yourself. So it's an important quality, and it's followed you wherever you've gone. So you won an MLS Cup with Portland, and then you won with Atlanta, and I guess we'll see what happens in Columbus. But no, you're extremely vital to how the game is, for sure.
Oh man, Sal's my coach. No one knows it though.
Sal's, if he's not your coach, he's your number one.
I am number one fan. See, I got one other question. What's your so no one knows this about you. Maybe they do, but you don't eat vegetables. You don't eat anything healthy, really.
Dude, this sounds like me so far.
Dude, okay. So if you were lacing up the boots before a game, okay? You had to pick out of these 3 meals, you could have the fruit roll-ups, the ones that you bring 7 on every road trip. Fruit roll-ups that you eat just casually.
Fruit roll-ups. He's buying them for his kid. He's stealing them from his kids.
I remember fighting over them in elementary school.
He rips open the little tube foil and crumbles it up into a little ball and puts the whole thing in his mouth.
Was there fruit by the foot? Is that another option?
No.
Gushers?
Olive Garden fettuccine Alfredo.
Ooh, okay. Authentic.
He's all over that. Authentic. Or Pizza Hut pizza. What are we going with?
What? Oh God, that's like.
This segment brought to you by pizza.
Yeah, seriously.
What's that conversation?
The never-ending pasta bowl.
I can't remember.
We were talking about the pasta they had there.
Oh yeah.
Remember? I couldn't believe it. But. And I have to be.
We would have a gourmet chef cook for us every day at Atlanta, and this guy would never come in, and he'd go pick up Olive Garden fettuccine Alfredo every day.
Oh man,
this guy.
Free breadsticks.
And he has an 8-pack. And he has an 8-pack, dude.
Yeah, is that the endless possible? Is that still a thing there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in and out. Sometimes they take it away and they'll bring it back. But no lie, like my birthday and stuff, like everyone gets me Olive Garden gift cards. Like my in-laws, like they know, like I love it. I'll probably say, man,
back.
Yeah,
that sounds like a gag gift. Here's an Olive Garden gift certificate.
It's real, bro.
Yeah, I would say probably Olive Garden. It'll last me a little longer,
Get some pasta in you. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I have to slide, a fruit roll up in there somewhere. It has to be the strawberry flavor though.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, all reds.
Red 40. You're just a fiend for Red 40.
Oh man,
too good.
Sal's my first roommate in Portland, actually. On the road.
Yeah, we've been roommates quite a while, actually. Yeah. We had some good times.
Sure, I should ask you easy questions, so you ask Sal a detrimental question during the interrogation. I'm gonna have to switch my my mindset moving forward here.
Do we have any more questions before the interrogation? Does anybody have anything?
I've got one more. Just so when you get traded, you may have this perception or this first impression of a player, and it might not always be true, obviously. And so when you got to Columbus, who was the one guy that talent caught you off guard that you were like, oh, this guy's got something that I didn't know?
Could it be negative or just positive? Damn, this guy sucks.
Let me see.
If you want to go that route, you can, but this is the easy questions.
No, positive. We had a.
Basically, who's still there? Who was traded away?
You guys know Milton Valenzuela, our left back?
Yeah. Guy that used to have the bleached hairdo last year. Does he still have it bleached?
He was hurt last year.
But he's like he bleached like his hair blonde, didn't he?
I can't remember. So that would have to be like 2 years ago. I think he played 2 years ago, and then last year did his ACL, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then this year he's been playing, but he's won. He's really good. Both sides of the ball, attacking, defending. Good left foot too, crossing. And, he can play as well combined. And then I didn't see him last year, so I kind of knew everyone from last year.
Right.
When I saw them play, so when I came in and he was healthy again this year, I was like, wow, like this kid. I think he's a young guy. I think he's like 21 or something.
He's
good
a left back.
Left back. I think he came from Newell's Old Boys. Really, really good player. And the other one is like
Tata's club, right?
Yeah, your guy. And then the other one I would say is Harrison Awful. I mean, I kind of knew he was skilled, but like still seeing him in training, like the stuff he does, at right back, it's like, come on, like you gonna get out of there, and then he'll still get out of there. So I like him. He's super clean.
Yeah.
Dude, he has some knuckleball shots too.
Whew, bangers.
Yeah.
He's like always like half the game. He's like where the 10 should be. I'm like, yo, what the fuck did you a right back?
Yeah, the outside backs, dude, especially in like the Berhalter days, it would just play straight wing.
Wing, center midfield,
wings.
all over the for sure. He's a good player.
In Atlanta, I would say probably Michael Parker's Parky. Yeah, so he kind of surprised me though. I knew everyone else, but I was like, oh man, like
I said the same thing.
Baller. Yeah.
I said the same thing to him. Yeah,
Parky's nice.
I know he probably listens since he's retired now, but I think I told Parky he's one guy that I would love to have played with before he retired, but unfortunately he's done.
Yeah, he says he is. We'll see.
Yeah,
I could have been a center back just like Parky, guys.
Oh gosh, not again. Not again.
Dude. I got similar quality set.
You know what's funny is like 10 years ago, if someone would have told me that I would be playing center back one day, I would have laughed in their face. And now I'm playing center back.
Dude, do you know that
in a three back? In a three back.
In a three.
Yeah.
Sal's playing for the Loyal. I watched his game.
Knows, bro.
I watched his game last weekend or whatever. They tied 1-1. It was horrific. It was. I was so sad that I was watching it, but I couldn't stop because I was like, something cool is gonna happen, and it never did.
Benny,
did
you see their opening goal?
I literally turned it on. It was already 1-1 or 1-0. Oh, maybe it was 1-0. I didn't see their goal.
Yeah, so they wanted to make the game sloppy. If you watch them, every time we pressed them, they just kicked it long, and it was.
Who'd y'all play?
Las Vegas. Watch their opening goal. They scored in like the first 3 minutes or something. It was
I
crazy.
had to ask Nino if you were playing because I didn't hear your name called the entire time, and I was looking for you at right back. And I was like,
it's because I was playing left center back. But dude, the game was like we weren't happy with it. But we'll watch. We'll be better. We'll be pressing teams. It's just when you press teams and they just go long every time, it just turns into an ugly game if you can't sort it out early.
Yeah,
that's what it turned into. But I finally saw your bow legs out there and figured out it was you.
Yeah, I saw Sal in preseason. We're down in Chula Vista.
Yeah,
San Diego. It sucked over there.
They wanted to play us, but we didn't want to like embarrass them, so we just decided not to.
Sal's the only person that would choose San Diego over Columbus.
Wait,
there's not any places I would choose over San Diego.
I was giving Saad a hard time. Saad Abdul Salam, good friend, when he went to Cincinnati. I said, you and Darlington got to be the first black people to ever run back to Ohio. I said, you guys are two only excited people to go to Ohio. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Home is home, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Is Saad sad that he's in Cincinnati and not Columbus, though?
I think if he had
he's
a preference.
From Akron?
Yeah, he's Akron. He went to Akron.
Yeah. Just outside, yeah. But anyhow,
Saad and I played together. We were younger, like U10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used to play together on internationals.
Yeah,
he used to play. I'm a year older than him, so he would come and play up on our team. Yeah, so I've known him a while too.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We'll have him on the podcast one day. Garza didn't give us all the truths over there in Cincinnati, all the breaking stories. So maybe
we didn't want to.
Cincy.
Yeah.
Cincy.
They're making headlines over there.
The nasty natty. Yikes!
All right. I think we're. Anybody else? Sal, you got anything?
No, that's good. We can get into Ike's.
All right, D, I was gonna expose Sal, but I'll let him
be. You've done well.
You'll have time. You'll have time.
But now it's going to get interesting. I'm going to flip it over to Ike. He's got the interrogation. You've got 5 questions. You got to answer all but one. You can plead the 5th. If you get them all right, or if you don't plead the 5th in any of them, then you can ask any one of us one question. Welcome to the hot seat.
All right. Welcome, Darlington. Question number 1. Obviously, with the break that we're on, everyone should be staying inside and being good citizens of society. But there's always one on the team, on every team or every organization that does something stupid. So who on Columbus Crew would be that guy and do something stupid during this hiatus of a break?
Man.
Don't you plead on the first question, D.
I like this guy, though, man. The guy I'm thinking of.
Let's hear it.
My guy too. Dang.
I know who would be on our team for sure.
I was maybe Derek Etienne.
Oh yeah, I know Derek from Red Bull. He would be. Yeah. You're right. He would be. He would be.
But I like him though, man.
Yeah,
I like him.
He's a funny dude.
You know? Yeah, he's hilarious. But I didn't know him too well before this, But I would say he might, maybe step out a little bit.
Yeah, might be going out to crowded bars.
I seen some people in Nashville going. I was like, my goodness.
People, be smart, people. Come on now.
Derek. But...
Oh, D, we gotta have you tell that story of when you had to take your car to Tennessee, bro. That's a great story. Oh, you gotta tell that story. You gotta tell that story.
Wait, can we get through the 5 and then circle back?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Question number 2. You play with these 2 unbelievable players, but at their peak, who would you rather start your team with? Almiron or Valeri? And why? So one's good, one's bad. That's what I'm going to make it.
I wanted both of them too. They're different though.
I know they are very different, but you get to choose. You're the coach. Why do you want them on your lineup?
You're still the coach.
You are exactly. You are the actual coach. So why do you want said person?
Hypothetically, if you were to be in charge of Columbus,
I would say Valeri. I say Valeri probably maybe complimented me a little better. If I'm being selfish, I think the thing with Valeri, everyone sees like the goals and assists, but I think his movement, kind of picking up spaces, picking up vacated spaces that were left open by the other team. I thought he drifted in those spaces like perfectly, or choosing moments when to not cheat but kind of stay higher up and staying a little higher and getting the ball in those pockets. And he was always going to make a play, in my opinion, no matter what's going on in the game. So I'll definitely say Valeri at his peak. Well, Almiron, I don't know if he's at his peak yet though. So
yeah, true. Yeah. So it should be Almiron then.
We don't know. Well, we don't know where that peak's gonna go. So
that's fair.
They're both different though,
Yeah, no, I'm just messing. Valeri's. Well, actually, I wish I would have gotten Valeri's jersey earlier this year because I'm like, damn, this guy's a legend. And I don't usually get jerseys of people I don't know, but I've met him a couple times. But anyways, all right. Question number 3. Question number 3. Of these coaches that you've played for, who do you never want to play for again? John Spencer, Caleb Porter 1.0, Tata, Frank de Boer, Caleb Porter 2.0, or Jurgen?
Jurgen.
Yes, I'm right there with you. No hesitation.
Jurgen, man.
Would you like to go into a little bit of detail there, or?
Jurgen was just, every coach is different. You accept them how they are, just as accept people as how they are. Well, Jurgen, he was just different. I don't know. I didn't play too much under him though, so.
But so a very short amount of time, you said, nah, not for me.
Yeah, but I think he. Yeah, I don't know if he liked me or not. I think he did, but I don't know.
Well, you declined probably having his call up, so could be it.
He got mad. He got mad one time, man. I was like, what? But
you picked your family over soccer and you got mad or something?
Your thing is off, Sal. That's why I'm telling the story.
Come on, Sal.
Yeah, Sal was in their story.
So sorry. So I have a funny story that I remember you telling me. So at the end of one of the national team camps, didn't he call you in and like talk to you about the stuff you needed to work on? And guess what he told this guy? Go ahead, Dave.
To not lose the ball, please do.
He just said kind of like agility and quickness and stuff, like change of direction.
Change direction.
This guy maybe changes direction the best out of any U.S. national team player, and he said that's what he needed to work on.
Maybe it could have been translation or something, man. I don't know, but he said I needed to work. Nah.
He wasn't watching trainers, bro. This man would just be off like staring at the sky.
He gave him my first cap still, man. So shout out to Jurgen. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
All right. Was that question 3? I don't even know. It was 3.
That was number 3.
Yep. Question number 4. It's kind of a 2-part question. It's a fan question. The worst sounder to go against. You can't say Ozzy because I know you're probably gonna say Ozzy. He's a badass. Yeah,
that was the first one that came to mind.
Yeah, I know.
Why can't you say Ozzy?
Because it was the most. It literally is like obvious.
It's obvious.
2 + 2 is 4.
If it's the truth, like that's what I would say too.
Okay, worst sounder to go against in that rivalry, and the worst player to go against in the league outside of Seattle.
And what was the second part? And the worst what?
Player to go outside of
outside of Seattle
in the league.
Okay, so against Seattle, besides Ozzy, I don't know if I can say I went against this person in Seattle, but like when I saw them play, I was like, man, like I didn't know like they were this good. But Chad Marshall,
yeah,
solid. He kind of surprised me, because I knew Josh Williams, one of our center backs here. I knew him from before, and he would always tell him about how good Chad was, and I was like, okay. When started playing against him a couple of times, and I was like, wow. And then we went to that January camp with him, and I was like, man, like this guy's actually like legit. He's actually legit. Yeah. And then in the league, who's tough to go against? Actually, first one besides, because it's kind of Seattle again. So besides, I would say Ladero. He doesn't stop moving.
Oh, it's the worst.
When you were talking about Valeri, I was thinking about Ladero. Does almost the same stuff. Like this guy just runs behind the 6 and the 8 all day in between the lines.
Insane.
He won't stop. He runs at one speed the entire game. He never stops running.
That's the thing, man. Because you'll see him play and like, oh, like it should be easy because he's not fast or quick. Right. But that constant movement of like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because he doesn't change pace really, so he can just move constantly.
He's always on the line. He's on the defensive line all game. I'm like, yo, what is going on?
He's always in between, so you don't know, like, oh, let me step or let me drop as a midfielder.
But he's also in the channels. He's a channel runner, big time.
He goes all the way to the sidelines.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You just never know, like, even if they tell you pay attention to him, how can you pay attention?
Right.
I mean, gonna pop up, but so good, so clever on the ball. Great left foot, gets them going. Outside of Seattle, let me see. Trying to think.
No one that kicks you all the time. No one that's.
Let me see.
That you can't get the ball from.
Or that once took the ball away from you, maybe.
Man. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of some attackers. We played Piatti was nice though in Montreal.
Yeah,
he was a tricky one though. He's not like the fastest, but he's got those legs, man.
He gets to it,
bro. The chop.
Bro, when he's on the move though with the ball, he's fast.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
he's like sneaky fast.
Yeah, so I would say he was one that was kind of hard to play against. Kind of picks up good pockets as well. But then the thing with him, when he gets it on the dribble, he can go too.
Yeah.
So I would say he was one. Trying to think who else, man. So many good attackers.
And what about like defensive midfielders on the other team that would make it tough on you?
Yeah, I played against Chara. That was kind of like, I would say that was just weird, kind of like a mental game because that's my guy, kind of like he does stuff that I wish I could do. So kind of playing against him. I think with him, he just waits for your first touch. You know what I mean?
Dude, you guys are similar. I think you guys are similar, but you with the ball and him without the ball. Like,
yeah, he's like,
you guys are always balanced. That's what I'm saying. Like what I said about Char, it's like he never like if you can't juke him. He doesn't actually sell his body to one side, and it's kind of like you with the ball where you're always balanced. You always even if you go one way, you can come back the other, and that's like him defending.
Because I'll play against some center mids, and some of them are just so clean on the ball. That's annoying. But then you have some that just kick you for no reason. But Child, what I mean, like you said, he's balanced. So it's like, if you get on the ball, like he can defend you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on the ball, he's good enough as well. He's not bad on the ball, even though everyone talks about his defensive abilities. But he's good on the ball as well. So he's just balanced.
Yeah, Char is nice, dude.
Yeah. And I like that. I like Latif too.
Latif, dude.
What a
Who
little.
would have known he's an 8 though?
Oh, a little buzz to this guy.
Center midfield.
Shot out of a cannon. And his little quick cuts and it's
he's puts in work too, man.
He does.
I feel like you want to talk about him enough, but
I can see that. All right, perfect.
On the show, he would say is yeah. I'm happy, guys. I'm happy.
It's good, guys. Question number 5. I'm going to take this.
He hasn't pled one yet, right?
No, he's not going to because this is a curiosity question. We've grilled him a little bit. It's time for him to give us a little. Well, we know who's going to ask the question to, so we're safe, Benny.
Hey, switch it up, Darlington. Scare these guys.
Don't you do it. I was the only one that have yet to play with you at any point in time. But if you could, you have to rank us from first to worst of who you would want to play with on your team. So obviously Prime Benny.
Did we ever play on the national team?
Yeah, you subbed in. You subbed in for him.
Oh yeah, but I didn't. I guess.
That
was like what, a week? Right, but okay, fine. That's fair.
I'm sure he's like seeing you play.
Okay.
Whatever. No, would you rather have me cleaning up all your mistakes that you don't make? Would you rather have Benny turn the ball over and you cover for him? Or Sal?
Or would you rather have your head right because I'm your teammate?
So from worst to first, who you taking? You are the GM. You can draft your first draft pick.
I have a question though. Is it at our peak or current state?
Peak, bro.
All right.
Because we know Sal would win that.
That seems fair. That seems fair.
Can I plead on this or?
Nah, you don't have to, dude. You're not gonna hurt anybody's feelings today.
I'm curious who you're gonna say.
From worst to first. So, I mean, this is kind of like I don't know if it's a compliment, even though it's the first person. But I would say I feel like me and Benny are similar though. So you know what I mean?
I agree.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I have no problem being worse right now.
You're taking Benny last.
Yeah, because I feel like me and him are kind of doing the same thing out there. If that makes sense. Yeah, I'll never forget we were playing. I don't know. If it would have been.
Hey, I'll tell you for my. When?
There was this.
What year?
We were playing against you. I don't know if you were on. I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah, we pumped them, bro. Remember? With Portland, we pumped them. We pumped you guys. We beat you guys like 4-0 with Portland. This was like 2012, maybe.
With New England?
Yeah. You were the best player on New England in Portland. You were the best player on New England, but I will say we pumped you. It was like 4-0, I think.
I don't think we played you guys in Portland in 2012.
Yeah, you did. I remember. I talked to you after the game. I'm positive.
Really? All right. Anyways, I was just gonna say before, after he gave me the nice compliment of being the worst, I was gonna say that it would have been nice to play with him in some part of my life. Have somebody that good on the ball, so that I can basically, like what he said about Larry, kind of start creeping up the field a little bit, knowing that it's gonna get there at some point.
But Benny, he thinks you suck, so too bad.
Yeah, no. All right,
No, I think me and Benny play similar, so that's why I was like, unless it was 2 8s and then the 6 behind us, then that would, you know what I mean?
Okay, how about this? You're the GM. You get to start the team. Who you draft?
Nice.
Let him answer the question. He said me. Who's next? Who's second? Who's second?
No, but I didn't get back to that play. So we were playing against you guys, and I remember you switched the ball, but you toe poked it, and I was like, man, this is different. I was like, after that, I was like, I love this guy. I don't know if you remember that. Like, it came to him, but it was like during a play, he shook, and then he like toe poked it like across the field.
He sure wasn't the outside of his right foot, because that's what he usually does.
No, I got a little toe poke.
Yeah. It was a toe poke. I was like, man, I like that. And then I'll go Ike.
Oh, I'm 2-footing his ass. It's cut. When did we play Columbus? I gotta look this up.
Go Ike. I never played with you, but you know who reminds me of you? Miles Robinson. And I love that guy, man. What'd you say, Sal?
He's really good.
Yeah, they're very similar. Best 1v1 defenders. You can't beat them on the dribble.
I never seen Ike beat, you know what I mean? Like,
Ike's a better finisher, though.
Everything up.
Ike's a better finisher.
Yeah, but I love Miles, though. And you guys are like, Miles reminds me of you. You know, you just kind of like a child, you know, you just get more confident doing what you got to do because you know, like, you're just safe back there.
Yeah.
So I'll say, and then Sal is the GOAT, man.
Oh, God.
I can't really say much.
Back
when I was fast, dude. Now I play with guys that don't even know that about me, and they're just like, I'm just average, you know?
Now you're still playing, dude. At least you're not in real estate anymore, huh?
It's the roommate bias, Benny. That's why we got kicked to the curb, man. Okay.
That's all good, dude. I understand it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I would pick you over all of them too, just so you know.
My God.
Sal's the one that actually has played with all four of us.
Yeah, true.
All right, well, you are officially off the hot seat, dude. Congratulations. You did not plead the fifth. I hope you have a question ready because you can ask any one of us a question that we have to answer now.
I'll go for Sal, man. Sal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably the guy. I don't know if someone's asked you this before, but you play for Peter. He just froze on us. Oh, you play for Peter, Tata, Caleb, and Jesse. If you had to rank them, how would you rank all those?
I love it.
From worst to best. Let's go. Like, think about that though. Think about all who, you know what I mean? Those are four like.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you? Hey, I'll go one further and add Landon in there. How about that?
Listen. I'm taking Landon. I'm removing Landon because he's been my coach for 5 weeks. Relax, okay? I'll rank them. And I've actually so I'll have to go. I'll start at the bottom.
Worst.
I'll go the worst, yeah. But I'm not. He's not even the worst, dude. He's a great coach. So
for all intents and purposes, he's the worst. That is it. Okay. That is the game.
Remember, I'm ranking 4 amazing coaches, but I'll go. Yeah, I'll go Peter Vermes at the bottom.
Wow.
Listen. I mean, I was there a year. You know, like he's not a bad coach by any means. He's done amazing in Kansas City. They've won Open Cups, MLS Cups. He's a great coach. But if I have to rank, right? I have to rank. So he's at the bottom.
Yeah.
3, I would go. Oh man. Oh, it's tough.
I'm texting Peter to see if he actually listens to the podcast.
I just pulled up there. I'm recording this part.
I would say Caleb. I'm gonna go Caleb.
Dang, Caleb, he put you 3.
And Caleb's another person. Like I only had a year. Like mind you, a lot of these coaches.
Caleb in your PV. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sal, I'm just going to say this. You should go a little bit faster because you know we're going to tell Nina to post this one. The video is going to be on there, so you might want to get through this.
Okay, then I'm going to go Tata, and then I'm going to go Jesse 1. And the reason why is I think Jesse got his style of play and his message like through to me the best and out of any of those coaches. Like I knew exactly what I needed to do on the field. That's just like me personally, but like say someone like Miguel or something, like he would have responded to like Tata's way better, you know what I mean? And then like Darlington responds to like Caleb's message like way better. So it all depends on the personnel, but like it also depends on experience, right? I was with Jesse for 3 years. The other ones I was there each for 1 year. I played the most under him. Everyone else, I was pretty much a bench player for, half bench, half playing for all three of those other guys. So of course I'm going to go with the guy I played before the most, So yeah.
Way to save yourself there, Sal.
Still doesn't take away the guy who sucks, just so it's clear.
Hey,
huh?
you're the one saying it. So just so you know, they're all good coaches,
no.
Ike, they're all good coaches. So you're the one saying that he sucks.
If you're 4 out of 4, what place are you in, Sal?
4th place, Ike.
Or last, just so we're clear.
I'm starting to feel uncomfortable.
All right, wait. Let's circle back to that story that I wanted Darlington to tell about driving to Tennessee.
And then he can be off our whole podcast.
Oh, man.
It's a good story, Darlington.
Should I go through everything? Like,
Yeah.
So we moved to Atlanta. I'm buying a house. Me and Sal are talking. I'm like, man, like I bank with U.S. Bank. There's no U.S. Bank in Georgia. I was like, gosh, He's like, oh, you gotta switch to Chase, blah blah blah. Sal, he knows everything. So he's telling me what to do, blah blah. I was like, man, I don't have time. I don't want to switch to Chase. I'm like, dang, okay. So I look up flights. Can't really find a flight, and then I look up. There's a U.S. Bank kind of in southern Tennessee. I'm like, all right, I'll just. So I'm like, whatever, I'll drive there. So I drive there. I pull up
in his Maserati, driving there in his Maserati.
So I drive there. It's like hour 15 past Chattanooga. I can't remember the town. So I drive there. I'm like driving, pull up to this town. I just see windmills. Like it's like a town you see in the movie where it's like, whoa, I'm not safe here, So I knew ASAP as soon as I pulled in there. I'm even recording it so I can show my wife where I pulled up. So I pull up in this town. I'm driving. I'm like, man, you really don't? Like, oh. I'm like, whatever. GPS is taking me. I'm driving. I see this cop. I saw him like, I don't know. I saw him like a couple seconds before. So I'm driving. I'm like, man, this guy better not pull me over, blah, blah, blah. I'm driving. I see him. I just doing a speed limit. Pulls me over. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, dang, like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing I could have done right here. I saw him, like, you know what I mean? Eye contact even, like, damn, like, this guy just pulled me over for no reason. So I'm like, okay. I'm, like, nervous and stuff in the middle of nowhere. He pulls me over. And the guy. So he comes up. He's like, go my window down, put my window down, hands on the steering wheel. And he's like, first thing he says is, like, what are you doing in this part of town? I'm like, whoa, like that's how we're gonna start off in my head. I'm like, dang. So I'm like, I was scared at first though. It's funny now, but at first I was scared. I'm like, I'm just going to US. Yeah, I'm like, I'm just going to US Bank. Got to wire some money. There's no US Bank in Georgia. This is the closest one driving distance. Like, all right. He's like, driver license and the registration. Blah blah. He takes it. He comes back. He's like, what kind of car is this? Maserati. He's like, I don't even know what to tell them. I didn't even know what to call him when I pulled you over. I've never seen one of these things before. I was like, yeah. I was like, man, it's Maserati, And he's like, how much one of these run you? I told him, and he's like, ooh wee. This cop he's like, ooh wee. You wouldn't mind paying a speeding ticket, would you? I was like, speeding ticket. I was like, speeding ticket for what? I was like, I saw you, I was like, I don't think I was speeding, sir. I was like, what's the speed limit? And he's like 35. I was like, what was I doing? He's like 45. I was like, if you say so, I just left it at that. And he's like, but I'll let you go though if you do me a favor. I'm like, man, what kind of favor can I do for this guy? In the middle of nowhere? What am I going to do for this guy? In this moment right here, what am I going to do for you that can possibly help you besides him take my car? So anyways, I'm like, all right, like, I'm like, what is it, sir? I'm like, what is it? Looking up at him like, do anything. He's like, I'm gonna stop traffic right here. There's no traffic, bro. It's a dead city. He's like, I'm gonna stop traffic, and I'm like, okay. He's like, I want you to, pull out and then push the gas, put the metal to the floor. I was like, excuse me? Like, yeah. So now when he said that, I'm like,
it's a test.
Trying to set me up. Exactly. So I'm gonna pull out. He's gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take off. He's actually gonna pull me over for speeding. You know. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm just like, man, I don't know what to do. So I'm sitting there. He's like, no, go ahead. You know, but like he's being like normal. You know. I was like, man, this is weird. Like I've never like experienced this before. But he pulls out. You know, like I didn't agree to it, but he pulled out like horizontally, stop traffic. There's no traffic. And then he's like, you know, he's like, go. And I pull out and I just. Like, you know, my tires just like but the biggest well, US Bank is right there, man. So I like take off and then like I hit my brakes and then like turn to US Bank and I look back waiting, you know what I mean? Just like, man, he's about to pull me over again when he's just like this thumbs up like out the window. I'm like, oh my gosh, what just happened?
He's like shoot his gun off the window.
Bro, I'm like, oh my god.
Wait, dude, this sounds like Super Troopers.
Man, it was crazy. And then he pulled into this diner across the street. And then some other cop cars there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, man, this guy could probably set me up. You know what I mean? Like when I leave, they're gonna follow me and stuff. So like I left the bank, I just like zoomed past there. I got on the highway and I was just gone out of that place. Oh my goodness, man. But this cop, bro, I couldn't believe it. He said, ooh.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Southern Tennessee, man. Don't go there.
Tell me, man. You ain't got to tell me.
Hey, I'm glad you survived it.
I couldn't believe it.
That's
I'm from the South, so.
Anyways. Where you from?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, D. Well, we appreciate you coming on, dude. And
appreciate you guys.
Talking to you. And good luck this season. Good luck with the coronavirus. Make sure you stay at home, quarantine with your family.
Always.
And we look forward to once the season starts back up to watch you play, dude.
Thanks, man. D. Appreciate it.
Sure. Oh, you a nice little 2-foot. Second place. Yeah. All right. Okay.
All right, dude. Have a good night.
All right. Later, dude.